President Kiir pledges full support for comprehensive judiciary reforms. South Sudan takes over EACO leadership. And government launches point of entry yellow fever and cholera vaccination at Juba International Airport. Hello, a very good afternoon and welcome to SSBC News at 1. I am Duku Wilson with the news in detail. President Salva Kiir Mayardit has reaffirmed his commitment to supporting the comprehensive reform of the country's judicial system, pledging full cooperation with the leadership of the judiciary in its efforts to enhance access to justice for all citizens. The president gave the assurance on Friday following a meeting at the State House with Chief Justice Dr. Benjamin Bakdeng and Deputy Chief Justice Lacour Tranquilo Nyombe. The two senior officials briefed the president on their strategic plan aimed at revitalizing the judicial sector through a series of reforms. Chief Justice Bak told the president that the judiciary has already embarked on the reform process, which he described as essential to ensuring timely and fair justice delivery across the country. Vice President Taban Dengai and the Presidential Advisor on National Security Affairs, General Madoud Doul discussed the general security situation in the country. General Madoud Doul briefed the media after the meeting on Friday.
In fact, I came to visit the Vice President and then to talk about our peace. We talk about the road between Wau and Awil, because the road completely is bad. And then he also promised me to talk with the military authority so that to call Africa Kongdai to make the division of the road from Wau.
Women parliamentarians have raised concern on the land policy which deter women from land ownership. The lawmakers made the remark during the national dialogue with parliamentarians and duty bearers on gender, land and climate resilience training organized by IGAD. In his remark, the Deputy Speaker in the National Parliament, Permena Aweriol, says women deserve the right to land ownership and resources, urging women parliamentarians to continue advocating for their rights as stipulated in the Constitution. IGAD head of mission in South Sudan, David Kwaje, says issues of equality are very crucial and should always be given priority. The chairperson of the Specialized Committee on Land and Physical Infrastructure, Ambrose Lomin, highlights the importance of land policy.
Women are the ones who own the land more than men. In terms of cultivation, we can go back to the villages. Women are the ones who cultivate, and that is the land. So the woman right in this country is given by law.
Globally, women who make up the majority of the developing world's 1.4 billion are generally poor and come from lower income and have less access to credit, decision-making, and limited control over resources such as the land that we all sit on. It is also estimated that on average, 80% of the women within the IGAD region do not own land and are only granted access to their spouses or other male family members.
This workshop is very good for you, so that also you get your rights. And for sure you will get it, because the policy is excellent, inclusive now. So you need only now to legalize it and push it so that.
The Minister of Cabinet Affairs, Dr. Martin Elia Lomuro, and the Governor of Central Equatoria State, Agostino Jadala Wani, discussed implementation of the peace agreement and maintaining the peace and stability in Central Equatoria State. In a statement after the meeting, Deputy Governor Paulino Lukudu Obede says they discussed a wide range of issues, including safe return of refugees and the internally displaced persons to their places of origin, to actively engage in agriculture and development of the state.
To ensure there is stability, there is peace, and also there is a repatriation and the resettlement of the IDPs and the refugees back to our ancestral land. We are cognizant of the situation our people are facing, especially the security situation and also the issues that are happening in the border areas. And we are going to engage with our sons and the daughters outside to ensure that peace prevails all over parts of Central Equatoria State. And as all of us are aware that the strategic direction of this government this time is to ensure we have to go for farming.
Following his participation in the China-Africa ministerial meeting in Changsha, South Sudan's foreign minister, key sectors. Abraham Felix reports from Beijing. Key sectors. Abraham Felix reports from Beijing.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Mande Simaya Kumba, joined by a delegation from the Ministry of Petroleum led by the Under-Secretary Deng Lual and the Managing Director of Nile Petroleum Corporation, Ngor Ayuel Ngor, held 4 significant meetings. The delegation met with CNPC President Hu Juqin. The meeting centered on enhancing oil cooperation between South Sudan and the state energy giant. Minister Simaya reaffirmed the South Sudanese government commitment to providing a conducive environment for foreign investors. Speaking to SSBC, South Sudan Deputy Head of Mission to People's Republic of China, Jesse Lobele, briefed the media on the outcomes of the meeting.
The two sides discussed the prospects of enhancing cooperation between CNPC and its South Sudanese counterparts. CNPC, on its part, assured that it will continue operating in South Sudan, and the minister assured the company of the commitment
development projects and economic partnership between South Sudan and the bank. Additionally, Minister Mande Simaya Kumba met with Long Yuexing, chairman of the China International Culture and Communication Center. They discussed promoting cultural exchanges. Minister emphasized the importance of strengthening cooperation in diverse cultural activities to foster mutual understanding. Minister Simaya Kumba met with the president of Tsinghua University, Le Luming, and dean of the School of Public Policy and Management, Zhu Sufing. The meeting focused on bolstering bilateral relations through capacity building, exploring scholarship opportunities, and increasing academic exchanges.
The two sides agreed to promote.
Abraham Felix, SSBC, Beijing. Abraham Felix, SSBC, China.
As he prepares to leave for Warab State, Governor Ambassador Bolwek Agoth has stressed the need to empowering the young people with capacity building and financial resources to ensure they significantly engage in entrepreneurial programs. A move, he says, would enable them to abandon criminal activities in the state like cattle rustling and revenge killings. Governor Agoth made these comments in a statement shortly after meeting the Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Dongrin Mariel Ater, where he seeks support to facilitate his journey to the capital, Kwa Jok, to begin implementing the state of...
I'm here begging my brother, Dr. Mariel, and his team to facilitate me to go to the state so that I start implementing the state of emergency through power of persuasion to begin with, to tell people what does it entail, why the government decided to make a state of emergency Warab, because the situation is uncontrollable. If they accept, they should have a peaceful disarmament. Majority will accept, will be welcome, and they should be assisted by what I said earlier. so that they can an atmosphere of business and doing other things. Those who will resist will face a full-blown force of.
South Sudan assumes leadership of the East African Communication Organization at the end of the first years of the National Communication Authority. Gethkon Mathiankun is the new chairperson of the organization that has its headquarters in Kigali, Rwanda. Abate Simon reports.
The conference identifies some key achievements in ECO activities over the previous years, including harmonized positions that have been presented at a regional and global level. South Sudan Minister of Information Communication Technology and Postal Services, Michael Makwelwet, sounds hopeful about the implementation of the key points identified in the conference to meeting the East African Community people-centered desired goals.
It is from here that we are beginning to build Africa. It is from here that we will start building the East Africa community. And from East African community we will move to Africa. So this is the first step, I believe, that we have now laid the foundation. These resolutions which we have passed here will be fully operationalized as soon as it reaches the tables of all these governments. So we are sure.
The new chairperson of East Africa Communication Organization, Gethkon Mathiankun, promised to lead the regional communication sector in cooperation with the partner states to achieve the dreams of the East Africa community.
We need to realize the connectivity, trying to see the conducive environment in the region. And I thank many thanks to Dr. Samuel Mohizi for his dedicated leadership, and we are going to work closely. Also, he's not going to quit. We will also be looking for his knowledge.
The new executive director of East Africa Communication Organization promised to address communication concerns of East Africa Communication Organization for establishing consumer-friendly relations. The conference adopted a number of key points in the communique for the East Africa Communication Organization to move forward.
Communication mechanism among the national CERTs, a CERT with CERT and a CERT with CIRT, was launched.
The East Africa Communication Organization Strategic Plan 2023 to 2028 serves as a planning and performance management tool that aims at directing and monitoring overall corporate activities of the organization. Abate Simon Godo, SSBC.
It's time to go for a short break. Please do stay with us because we are back in a short moment with more stories. Stay with us. Welcome back from that short break, and thank you for staying with us. If you have just joined us, you are watching SSBC News at 1 with me, Duku Wilson. Moving on, the first Advisory Council Forum and 30th Annual Assembly of the East African Communication Organization, ECO, wraps up with key recommendations. ECO looks forward to adopting new technologies for advancements in various domains in the East African Community member states.
Council, Forum and 30th Assembly relinquished leadership of the organization to South Sudan. Over the 5-day period, delegates discussed challenges to the organization and chart the way forward in technological innovation adaptations in the upcoming stage. The South Sudan National Communication Authority Director General and new YACO chairperson Gieth Kon Mathiankun welcomes the new assignment on behalf of the South Sudan telecommunication sector. He pledges to cooperate with the YACO member states and stakeholders to realize a tangible progress in the East African regional body.
South Sudan is committed to advance the YACO vision, and it will continue to mobilize national stakeholders to support the YACO transitional into a specialized institution of the East African community. We believe this step is a key enhancing the YACO sustainability mandate and impact. We further urge the Secretariat to continue to support South Sudan through capacity building initiatives and by ensuring the greater representation of the whole state.
Koich, a new executive director, promises to serve the regional organization loyally and work closely with the new chairperson to deliver the desired outcomes.
Despite significant progress in digital transformation in East Africa, the digital divide remains a pressing challenge, whether in connectivity, access, literacy, or inclusion. The future we seek, therefore, must be built and done deliberately, inclusively, and boldly. A connected future that allows East Africa to compete globally.
The outgoing YACO chairperson, Dr. Samuel Moizi, commends the South Sudan for taking over the leadership of the organization. He petitions all member states to South Sudan in the new assignment to steer the region into a new digital era.
The team has managed to prepare the EACO cross-border frequency coordination schedule for mobile services for the period of 2024-2026. The schedule included the coordination points for different member states as well as the proposed dates for coordination.
Dr. Ali Simba, the outgoing executive director, highlights the achievements in the previous years, emphasizes transparency in the decision-making process for facilitating implementation of planned programs.
ECFOM members, member states, the Secretariat, we all stay saved and built in my heart because I see the energy and the leadership in this room. YACO is in good hands. To my colleague at the Secretariat, and although I know I will still have time to thank you when we are back at the office, I want to take this moment here and now and in front of everyone to say thank you. You stood firm, you adapted, you delivered. I am proud of each of you.
The first East African Communication Organization Advisory Council Forum and the 30th Annual Assembly in Juba has taken an overview of activities in the regional communication strategies, infrastructural development, and regulatory frameworks in fixing e-waste management, cybersecurity, consumer protection, and harmonization of telecommunication standards across the East African member states. Deng Achol, SSBC News, Juba.
Government, with support from the World Health Organization, launched point-of-entry vaccination of yellow fever and cholera for port health services at Juba International Airport on Friday. Addressing the event, the National Minister of Health, Sarah Cleto Rial, expresses her ministry's commitment to educating the public about the importance of the vaccination in protecting them from diseases. Minister Sarah added that the ministry will continue working with partners to fight diseases across the country.
Gratitude to all our health partners and the donors community whose unwavering support makes initiatives like this possible. A special thanks to all organizations and individuals supporting port health and strengthening our capacity at points of entry. Your collaboration, every one of you, and your generosity are saving lives and building a healthier South Sudan. In closing, I would like to call upon all of us, let us continue working together to build a resilient health system free from the threat of preventable diseases.
The cholera and yellow fever vaccinations that we are launching are really an important platform that we are using to make sure that we are able to manage the health of the people in our country. WHO in South Sudan is really honored to play a part and to be invited to participate in this process.
As Juba International Airport Management, we will ensure that everybody adheres to the regulations, and we will work hand in hand with you. If there are any challenges facing you at the Juba International Airport, please don't hesitate to come to us so that we address this. Airports are always, they are always key.
The National Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, in collaboration with partners, released the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification or Food Insecurity Report across the country. The document indicates the level of food insecurity and malnutrition landscape, reports unaffected counties, low agriculture, climate change, and conflicts as major factors attributing to the decline in agricultural production. Addressing the gathering, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Hussein Abdelbagi Akol, outlines conflict and climate change as some of the factors contributing to food insecurity across the country. The UN Humanitarian Coordinator, Anita Kiki, and World Food Program Country Director Mary Ellen also spoke at the event.
Continue to support farmers and cooperatives and strengthen all our traditional coping mechanisms. Together, as we united government, we with our development partners, as one people, we can and we must create a South Sudan who no one goes to bed hungry, peaceful, prosper, and food secure. Let us begin the vital work today.
Today, we gather to release another IPC report. As we have heard very eloquently and clearly from the Honorable Minister, the key findings tell us that 7.73 million people are facing acute food insecurity and that 2.3 million children are suffering from acute malnutrition. The data also shows that peace matters. In areas of conflict in Upper Nile, food security and malnutrition for the most vulnerable have slipped into IPC 5 phase levels. That is
The National Minister of Roads and Bridges, Simon Mijok Mijak, and the Turkish ambassador to South Sudan discussed opportunities for Turkish companies to invest in South Sudan's road infrastructure. Developing sound national road infrastructure is a crucial factor in safeguarding basic service delivery, stable security, and interactive socio-economic development in the country. Minister Mijok Mijak says the two sides would work closely in identifying road projects to be relinquished to Turkish companies.
So development was our agenda, and I thank His Excellency for giving us his thought how to advance our relations, especially the ratification of the legal framework, protection of investment, and also the development agreement which already passed by the cabinet.
I have conveyed my belief that South Sudan will have a bright future where all these needs will be met, and we
South Sudan delegation to the International Labour Conference in Geneva briefed the Director General of the International Labour Organization on the implementation of the Decent Work Country Program. The Minister of Labour and Industrial Relations, James Hothmai, says the meeting discussed areas of capacity building programs and supporting small and medium enterprises, as well as establishment of court after conducting labour force survey in South Sudan.
Discuss a range of issues with respect to implementation of the Decent Work Country Program. We asked them also to support the Republic of South Sudan in the training of our inspectors. We asked them also to help us in vocational training centers so that we can open more vocational training centers. And also we discussed about the establishment of our labor court. That is important to all of us. We have so many cases in the country that we are unable to resolve because we have not established the labor court. And also we discussed about the labor force survey that we are planning to conduct in our country with their help. The Director General promised that they will do their level best.
The South Sudan Revenue Authority has received 40 computers from the Northern Corridor Transit and Transport Coordination Authority to enhance its ongoing digital transformation efforts. The equipment, comprising 28 desktop computers and 12 laptops, were officially handed over to the Commissioner General of the Revenue Authority, Simon Akwedeng, by the Executive Secretary of the Northern Corridor, Dr. John Deng at the authority's headquarters in Juba.
We are very grateful as the Revenue Authority today to have received 40 computers from Northern Corridor, and we will continue to work together to achieve more. These 40 computers will be used for revenue mobilization and revenue administration, especially in our custom division. We need to get digitized across all the working 28 stations right now and others that are being opened up. Since we are now in the phase of automation, having such computers is very key. We will go now to the next phase on how we can get also printers.
Northern Corridor is determined to bring South Sudan and enlist it into a virtual custom management and revenue administration framework, which is being practiced in other countries. This is just a few baby steps that we hope will add up to something that will solidify our foundation in managing our country resources. 28 desktops were requested by the CG to be distributed to all stations so that data is automated, is standardized to fit the framework of standard custom procedures. And the next step would be for us now to create an interlinking network. And once network is enabled internally, then we shall now work to integrate it into the region. And South Sudan shall eventually join single custom territory framework that we use to handle custom management and revenue.
Authorities in Lake State pledge to empower youth for sustainable peace and development. Governor Ntwen Mabor stated this during the swearing-in ceremony of the Rumbek Youth Union in the capital, Rumbek, where he encourages young people to engage in peace initiatives. He says they are engaging with development partners to allocate loans for youth to start business initiatives. SSBC's James Sarushi has this report from Rumbek.
This was during the swearing-in of Rumbek Youth Union leadership, one of South Sudan's oldest union of the youth, initiated in the early 70s. Despite the early years of existence, the union is still struggling, in which they appealed to the state governor for a gesture of kindness.
We youths have the potential to drive a transformative change through collaboration with the government, led by our able governor, the savior of life, General Rinitwing Maburde, and the relevant institution as well. Our energy, creativity, and innovative solution could lead us toward a peaceful and secure future for our society and the nation.
Our youth and Galwang in Rumbek's country, this was the center of problems in Lagos State. But now currently, we speak the peace that you have brought to Lagos State. We speak the security that you have brought to Lagos State. And these things are very expensive. There is no amount of money that can purchase them. Whether you have a lot of money, you cannot buy peace and you cannot buy security.
Being an umbrella of the youth, this union is said to be the genesis of the youth's political careers and influence in transformation of the state. With the prevailing peace digging deep into the lives of the youth, the State Minister for Youth and Sports, William Koji, says there is hope for the youth in the state.
This year, 795 youth has been considered to be given loan. And this number is put into group of 159 groups all over the state. Each group requests 45 million, equivalent to $10,000.
The new union leaders taking their term of leadership in Aramyo are urged to ensure their